All right, next question. Um, I know this isn't a relationship question, but my mom kicked me out when I was a teen, and now I'm older with my own family and house, and she wants to move in with me because she doesn't want to go into an old folks' home. What should I do?
Wait a minute, repeat that. Who kicked them out for what?
Okay, I'll just repeat the whole question. I know this isn't a relationship question, but my mom kicked me out when I was a teen. Now that I'm older with my own family and house, she wants to move in with me because she doesn't want to go into an old folks' home. What should I do?
Oh my God, what a dilemma.
You're given
Wow.
fragments of information. Why did she kick you out? You know, what when you say teen, were you 13 or were you 18
Or
or were
19?
you 19 or like what teen were you? What was going on? Were you dropping out of school? Were you smoking? Were you just doing drugs in the house? Were you being violent? What caused you to be kicked out? There's a lot of holes and missing information here, so I can't answer that. I don't know. Did
I
they just
mean,
send this in, or was this from before?
I mean, but is that a reason to kick kids out? I mean, is there really
Yeah,
a
if
reason
you
to
listen,
we
if
don't
you
know.
have a kid, if you have a
I mean,
kid, and that kid is 18 or whatever, and they keep bringing druggies in your house and stuff goes missing and everything, and you're telling them, I'm telling you right now, you better get back in school, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all right. You keep finding out that they're just taking money and doing drugs and what. Yes, you need to kick that motherfucker out because they're a drug addict. You can't bring that madness in your house, especially if you have other kids in the house. If they have siblings, you cannot bring crazy into your house because that will impact the other people in the house. So as much as it hurts, you may have to kick that kid out. If you got a kid that's running around being a violent asshole, after a while, after you keep trying and they're not making any effort to try with you and to go to therapy and figure out they're just deciding that they want to run around and just be angry and violent. You can't deal with that, especially if you're a single parent or you're older, and whatever. There's a lot of ways that you can have to kick a kid out. Now, if your parent's a dick and they just never wanted to be a parent, and as soon as they had a viable reason or you were at an age that was socially acceptable, they just kicked you out with no plan, because I know people that's happened to, then fuck that person, whoever they are, mother or father. Let them rot in the streets.
oh my God, Logic, really? Yeah, but we don't know if the caller, but we don't know if the listener is being a martyr, because what if she just is looking for kind of like, I'm not saying she's saying, yes, like she wants us to maybe feel sympathy or compassion for her being kicked out, but yet, where that might have been due to something that she might have provoked, and maybe her mother wasn't such a bad mother. Maybe she was just saying, look, this is tough love.
That's what
So I don't. No, but that's what. Okay, listen. What I'm saying is, some people act like, they want it. Listen to what I'm saying. Some people want admiration or maybe sympathy because they're treated badly. But I wouldn't really say that that's really fair to do in this case, because we just don't have, like you say, we don't have enough information. We don't know why you were kicked out. If we knew what happened, then we could be on your side with it. But otherwise, I say don't ever treat your parent that way. That's just what that's my opinion. I wouldn't do that.
Don't ever?
Unless I knew.
I mean.
No, I think that is absolutely wrong. I absolutely do. That's still your parent. Once again, we don't know why she was kicked out in the first place.
No, sometimes there's some people in life that have cause and every right to see their parent at the side of the road with a flat tire and they hit the puddle on the way by and laugh. They have every right to do that because that parent was a dick.
I know if I saw my real father on fire, he better hope it's not me who's there to save him, because I'm going to tell you. I need all the spit in my mouth.
Okay, I just can't even believe we're having this conversation, that we're encouraging people out there in this world to walk away from their family and to be cruel
Why can't
even
you
to their
believe?
parents.
Wait, hold on, Char. Listen, you can't afford to
Okay,
live in this
wait.
Disney
Logic.
world.
Before,
Hold on.
logic.
Let me paint a portrait for you. I know a girl who lived with her aunt for pretty much the entire childhood. It wasn't until her mother got a man in her life that she came back for her daughter, and she brung the daughter back to take care of the young baby girl that she just had with this new dude. This new dude's brother, who was her uncle, her step uncle, I guess you would say, molested her. The mother knew about it, didn't say anything, and then in fact when she had the guts to tell the rest of her family, and her family went apeshit, or I should say they put on a good show, but they really still didn't do anything to this guy. The mother then denied the whole thing and acted like she was crazy and 302'd her, even though she knew what was going on. Now this girl, because all she ever wanted was her mommy to love her, to this day as a grown woman is still jumping through hoops to try to impress her mom. And anytime her mom comes into town, she makes sure she clears the schedule out so her mom can stay there, and they go out. Now they act like they're the best of friends. But this mother was willing to allow her daughter to be molested by another man because it was just convenient for her. She needed somebody to wash them clothes and keep that kitchen clean. You're going to tell me that she, regardless of the situation, needs to make sure she's there for her mother?
I really think that there's such thing as forgiveness. I just
Oh
really do.
my
Her mother was in a really bad
God.
place.
You're
I feel like
crazy.
her mother was at a bad place twice in her life. She was an unfit parent when she was younger. That's why she gave her to her grandmother. Now I'm referring to Logic's example. And then later on, when she felt like she could take care of her daughter, once again, she was still at a bad place because she's allowing a man to control her. Maybe her mother just literally needed counseling and help, but truly loves her daughter. And to have
Really?
someone on the
That's
street,
your takeaway from that?
Yes, to have someone out in the street like that, and that's your parent. I mean, you don't have to be best friends, but give them shelter. Do something. Don't just because of what. I mean,
You know what?
Okay,
This-
first of all,
this
And this,
episode
ladies
explains
and
a lot
gentlemen,
to me.
is
No,
why
to be molested
women
is a
end
terrible
up
thing.
in
I'm not
abusive
ignoring that.
relationships. What you
This
just
is-
heard
that's what
Char
I'm saying.
say
This explains
is the
a lot
exact
to me.
reason why women
Because why?
are
Because
in
they didn't get help?
abusive
Because their parents didn't
relationships.
get help? Because their parents
No,
were
because
sick
you
and
keep
didn't
giving
get help or didn't know
excuses.
how to make.
Yep, you keep
You're
giving
giving
excuses and excuses and
to
excuses.
parasitic and damaging people. There is nothing in the code of ethics of being a person that says you have to keep destructive people in your life. And that is the major problem with people. They don't know when to cut people off, especially when they're family. If family is being nothing but toxic and antagonistic to you, cut them the fuck off until they grow up and they take responsibility for what they've done. If they continue to try to sweep it under the rug, fuck them. Never talk to them again. Because what they're saying is what you've gone through at their hands, from the decisions that they've made, what you've gone through isn't even worth acknowledging because it's not convenient for them. So what's that saying? How much do they value you as a person if they don't even want to acknowledge what they've done and ask for your forgiveness? I'm not saying that if this woman then came back and said, I'm so sorry, I got rid of this guy and I tried to go to the cops, but they said the statute of limitations have passed, but he has, everybody in the family knows that it's a fuck him up on sight order. If we ever see him, he's getting twisted up. Anywhere we see him, he's going to get done up. And I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. You don't owe me anything, but I'll spend the rest of my life on this earth apologizing for what I've done to you as a mother. That's the only way that she can eventually consider allowing this woman back in her life.
Okay,
but when she's thinking like you do, then it's just, I love my mom and I don't ever want to.
No, that's not okay. That's not okay. Not without rehabilitation. I just said forgiveness is a very important factor here. And also what you're not seeing is the fact that if that conversation did happen, then why is the mother or parent still being punished something that happened so many years ago if she's truly
because there has
apologetic about
been
it.
no
So therefore,
effort to make amends
but
for it.
it's not still happening, but she's not still abusing that child. You said if you're in an abusive relationship at that moment,
She's
Char,
not still
listen,
abusing that child
if you,
because the
look,
child's an
Char, if
adult.
you want to
What are
say
you
that,
talking about?
if you want to say that,
because if someone,
then there's
if
no
you want to
reason
stay in an
for
abusive
black
relationship
people
is wrong,
to want
but
reparations.
I get that, but not if it's not happening. Okay,
No,
you're not
Char,
getting what I'm
listen
saying.
to me.
If that,
Listen to me.
go ahead.
Char. If by your logic, then there's no reason that black people should want reparations or anything that's happened in slavery, even though the United States has never apologized and doesn't give a fuck. They've never
and
done
we're not being
they've
beat
done
on anymore,
they've done
so you're
things
saying,
for the
okay.
they've done things for the Japanese, they've done things for the Jewish people and everything, and they didn't even do anything to the Jewish people, and they still gave them reparations. Black people have gotten nothing, and there's black people here that says we deserve reparations, and I agree, we deserve something. You know what I mean? But you're saying, oh well, slavery's not happening now, so what do you care? You should just let it go and forgive these people who still have you living in the system.
Actually, no. We never received an apology. We never received any acknowledgement of that.
That's what
different.
I said. How are you not hearing
because
me?
Because I just said, and because this is what you're not getting. You said, why stay in an abusive relationship? That's what people do because of the attitude I had. That's if it's still happening with the abuse. So, or there's no apology. One or the other, and that person has.
Kai, are you following anything that she's saying?
Oh my God! Listen to what I'm saying. Okay, reparations should have happened. Yes, it should still happen. But if we've got a national apology, which is reparations, really, then why would and these people and the government is saying, please forgive us. This is what we did. I'm saying it's the same situation, it's the same scenario. If that girl, even the person that called in or texted in, that person, as well as Logic's example, if the parent said, I am very sorry, please forgive me for what happened years ago.
I'm sorry, hold on. If the parent says, if it's like, I'm sorry for what happened when you were little, please forgive me, hey, can I move in with you? No, you're not sorry. You're just trying to get a place to live.
But once again, they were at but that parent was at a bad place in her life 20, 30 years ago. That's not fair. It's not like she's beating over right now.
Who cares?
I don't care.
But she's not wreaking havoc in her life. Logic said you should not be in a destructive or relationship or whatever, something like that. So
toxic.
If that mother is not toxic, but
Char, do you know there's such a thing as
she's a better
Char,
person.
do you know there's such do you know there's such a thing as emotional and mental abuse? So just because the parent is not still physically abusing the person, the fact that they still haven't apologized and or they're completely sweeping it away is still emotional and mental abuse to the person. So they are still causing destruction in the person's life. And you say it's okay to move them into the house. Now they have to see them day in and day out. Are you kidding me?
No, we never said that they apologized or they're sweeping it away. We never said that they're sweeping it under the carpet. We never said that because we don't know if there's an apology. See, if we knew if there was an apology, then we can handle this differently. That's my point. So let's assume that maybe there was an apology, but the girl is like, oh, what should I do because this is how I was treated when I was younger. If your mother apologized and it's truly coming from her heart, forgive that woman for what happened when she was either younger and just literally in a bad place in her life.
Then it goes back to what Kai said. Why didn't she come to this conclusion before she needed a place to live?
Exactly.
Well, you think that so what you guys are saying is she's using the daughter because naturally you're my daughter, you should let me stay here.
Of course.
You should take care of me.
Well, is it a daughter or something? But anyway, they don't want to go in an old folks home, so of course, yeah. My thing is I'll apologize. You still go into an old folks home and I'll come visit you and let's see how the relationship goes. Then from that maybe you can come live with me. That's what I think.
Well, I guess that might be a compromise.
It's just like what happened to Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal was abandoned by his father. His stepfather came in, raised him, whatever. Once Shaquille became a millionaire NBA player, all of a sudden, guess who comes moseying in over the horizon? His birth father.
Yep.
Does he
Yep.
then owe him, like, hey, you know, hey, is this water under the
Exactly.
bridge?
Should
You know,
he
you
say,
were in a
"Oh,
bad
I,
place.
Holly Berry's father did the same thing. I know that I've heard of those scenarios before, but we're talking about a woman who was this person knew her mother or parent, but yet was rejected and lived with her grandmother. That's what our caller said. That's a little different. Shaquille probably didn't have any relationship with his dad at all. I think he was really, really, really young.
So just because she knew her parents, then that's grounds for forgiveness?
Oh, I don't know, because I feel like if you were a child and your father was nowhere around and all of a sudden you're rich and you want me to give you what? No, I think that's not. No, I don't think you deserve that. But if there was a relationship and then I literally
it's essentially
just fell
the
off,
same thing. This woman abandoned her daughter as a teenager. She lived her entire life and has a family of her own now. And then all of a sudden now, when she needs a place to live, she's showing back up. You're showing up when it's beneficial for you.
When it's
but
convenient for you,
when you
exactly.
didn't care, you were fine with the way things were. So how's it any different? It's the same thing.
So basically, being a parent is supposed to be a selfless act. The child didn't ask to be here. It doesn't matter if you're going through anything in your life. That child didn't ask to be here. You brought that child in. You get your shit together, you raise your child, and then hopefully the child doesn't turn into a douchebag when they're older, and then, yeah, you don't get put in a home. End of story. But what I'm going to say is to the listener that messaged this question, it's up to you. It depends on if your parent did apologize. How did they apologize? Did they apologize right before they asked the question to move in with you? And basically, what did you do when you were little to get kicked out? Because if you were a terror as a teenager, and if you were like 18 or something, first of all, you're a grown person. If you were bringing in drugs or drug addicts or anything into the house, then your mom did have a reason to kick you out. But if you were like a straight A student, AB student, whatever, good kid, and she was just going through man after man, and I guess one of those guys didn't like you, and so she kicks you out, then, yeah, I agree. I think you should, it's a home for her. That's my advice.